Now, I know what you're thinking. You looked at that thumbnail and you thought that we were racing at Monaco today. But just take a look at what happened here, guys. We're driving through the tunnel section and we just lost it 30 laps in. It was a horrible, horrible race. We couldn't even keep up with the cars ahead. They started gapping us right after the first lap. I'm so bad at Monaco. It would have just been a horrible video and a pain in the ass to edit. But welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here for episode 24 of our F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. We're in Azerbaijan, and compared to Monaco, I like this track a lot more. I actually drive relatively well, but as you can see, we have a pretty decent qualifying one session. I put up a 139.7, which is good enough to get us into Q2. We don't need a too well of a lap to get us into Q2, so I'm not too worried. Schwartzman also just makes it into Q2. Now, going in to Q2, I went out on the mediums. I don't know why I did that, but I put up a hot lap, got us into P14, and obviously that is not going to be enough, so I had to go out with just under 2 minutes left in Q2 on a fresh pair of softs. And this is a pretty decent lap for me. I put up a purple sector 1, and then I believe there was a green sector 2. We purple 2 of the sectors on this lap, just passing through the castle section. But we go on to purple sector 2 as well, and then we end the lap on a 138.5. That shoots us all the way up into P1. Unfortunately, Schwartzman does not make it out of Q2. He hasn't been able to make it out of Q2 at all this season. So I'm hoping later on he will get better. He does seem to be improving slightly as the races progress. But behind me, the 2 Red Bulls, also P2, P3, into Q3 now. I go for another hot lap on the softs, put up a 138, puts us into P7. But obviously, I want to get higher. I'm trying to go for the first pole for cyBorg Racing. We purple sector 1 again, green sector 2. We're down 3/10 from our first hot lap and going all the way down the longest straight on the calendar. I believe Verstappen right now on provisional pole, but you'll see later he suffers a grid penalty, and we put up a 138.6, 100th of a second off of Charles Leclerc. That gets us into P4. But let's get into race day, guys.
Baku city circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, have the engineer, Hamilton, Carlos Sainz and Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Gasly, Joe and Max Verstappen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Sebastian Vettel and Stroll, Schwartzman, Norris, Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Russell, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Alright guys, so it is time for the race. Looking at the strategy quickly, we got 9 laps on the soft, so we're gonna have to be careful of our tire wear in those 9 laps. And then 7 on lap 9, we're gonna pit. 17 laps on the mediums. If there is a safety car after lap 4 or 5, I probably will pit for the hards. I also lowered the fuel count a little bit, and I believe we're starting in P3 because Verstappen suffered a grid penalty. So we're in P3. Let's see if we can maybe jump, I believe that's Carlos Sainz, if not Charles Leclerc. Jump them off the start, and we'll get into P2 to start this race. So it is Charles Leclerc in front of us. Perez on pole. And And here we go. Leclerc looks to cut us off to start the race. We got to go to the outside. And we overtake him in turn 1. And we are now behind Sergio Perez. So we're going to need to keep this pace up. I think he's using his battery a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and use our battery as well. And Azerbaijan is probably one of my favorite tracks to drive. So this should be a good race, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribed if you liked it. Remember, you can always unsubscribe later if you get bored or anything. Let me know in the comments what I can do to improve on these videos. I have been playing around with the structure of these videos a little bit, just to make them more entertaining at the start versus having all the R&D stuff at the start of the video. I'm doing it at the end now, so if you guys want to see the R&D stuff, you can look at the timeline, go over there. But we are dropping, and Leclerc is right on our left. He's got to go in behind us. I don't want to hit him. Oh, Leclerc does. I think I hit him. I think he tried to overtake us there. We can have a safety car. That was my line. I was already ahead of him at the apex. I'm not backing out of that corner there. Oh, a little bit of oversteer into that last turn down into the main straight. So after lap 1, I'm in P2 still. Perez is getting a little bit of a gap. He puts up the fastest lap with a 144. Oh god, I overshot that so bad. I wasn't really paying attention. 0.9 seconds. I'm gonna activate our battery. Oh, we just slipped out of DRS range. Come on. Okay, if we don't have it here, we'll have it on the next lap. So I'm gonna save up on that ERS. Lap 4 of 26. Hamilton is moved up into P3. Sonoda is in P5. So no sign of Guanyu Zhou, or Zhou Guanyu. I just watched the Bahrain Grand Prix, the season opener, and the commentators call him Zhou Guanyu, so I'm not sure if that's a proper way, if you say the last name first, or maybe that is his first name. But no sign of him, which is a good sign for the constructors battle with Mercedes. After our Monaco debacle, not getting any points finishes, Mercedes jumps ahead. I think we might have fell a few spots in the constructors, but we are looking to fight back. Schwartzman was in P16. I'm hoping he can get his pace up and start getting into the points after a great start he had in Bahrain, as we are closely behind Sergio Perez now. I'm gonna be looking for the overtake very soon. Definitely down the main straight. We got 84% battery charged up, ready to deploy. And I love driving on this track. I don't know what it is. A lot of people don't like it, but I really enjoy driving on this track. A lot of high-speed corners, low-speed corners. I believe this is the longest straight on the calendar as well. So let's see. I'm deploying that ERS. We're going to get DRS here. We're going to have the slipstream as well. It's going to be a battle right into turn 1. Oh, we're not going to make it. No, we're not going to make it. Okay, we're going to have to get him on the next one. Just getting out of the race line for a bit more clean air. So here we're going to have DRS again, and we're going to try the overtake again. We should get him right here. He's going to the inside. I'm going to go to the outside. He's probably going to be late on the brakes, but we're going to pass him cleanly into turn 3. So we're now in P1. We're on lap 6. We're pitting on lap 9. And can we get our third our third win of the season here in Azerbaijan? Sergio Perez goes into the pit, so he is on a different strategy. I wonder if he's going to be going on to the hards. Actually, all these drivers are going to pit, so we got to put up some good lap times here to avoid that undercut. Schwartzman also goes in the pits. I'm going to use that battery. The tire wear is okay right now. We're at 20% about per tire. These guys are going on to fresh mediums, I'm assuming. So we have a bit of a different strategy here. On lap 7. Lap 8, I'm going to pit this lap. These tires are starting to go. And I'm losing a lot of time. Sergio Perez in Sector 2, or while I'm driving through Sector 2, has already gained about 0.5 of a second. So I'm going to tell Jeff right now, we're going to go pit this lap. We're going to switch on to the mediums. There is no safety car. So I think that Perez is probably going to overtake me, and we're going to have to claw our way back into P1. So this is making for a pretty entertaining video. Me and Perez battling for P1 after Verstappen suffers a grid penalty. He falls down to, I think it was P6 or something along those lines. We're going to activate the ERS. We're going to get a nice little battery charge as we head into the pit lane. So let's just exhaust the ERS right now. As we go to the pit lane, take a sip of iced tea. One of cyBorg Racing sponsors. Hopefully we have a good pit stop here. As there goes Sergio Perez. 2.2 seconds, great pit stop. And we're gonna beat Hamilton and Ricardo out of the pits, so we don't have to worry about them. Our tires, I believe they are a lap fresher or 2 laps fresher. Yeah, 2 laps, because Sergio Perez went in. He went in lap 6 for his pit stop, and I'm assuming if we're on similar strategies, he's going to be on those tires to the end of the race, so he will see faster degradation as the race goes on. Assuming that we can manage these tires properly. He's got a 2.7 gap on us at the moment, but we are looking to close that gap and get another podium finish, another win for cyBorg Racing. So we're on lap 14. I just put up the fastest lap, and I feel like I can do better than that, so I might try to do it again, but we are 1.2 seconds behind Sergio Perez. We've been gaining ground on him about 1/10 a lap, or 2/10 a lap. He's been using his battery down the main straight, try to keep us away, but that only gets him about an extra 1/10 of a second. And then honestly, I just make it back into turn 1. So we are on his tail now. We are probably gonna have DRS down the next straight. We might even have an opportunity to overtake him beforehand, but I think I'm gonna wait until we hit the DRS zone, because I don't want him having DRS down such a long straight like that. So we are gonna have DRS here. Last time we had DRS down the main straight, we weren't able to overtake him down the main straight, but we did overtake him in the second DRS zone, so I might try and do that again. I don't know if I want to waste all my battery. He won't be pitting either, so let's see here. Yeah, he's gaining on us, so he's a little bit of battery. Are we? Oh, we missed the DRS scanning zone. No. Okay, so we're gonna have to freaking make that time up again. And hopefully here we will be in DRS range, and then we can try and overtake him. So we're in DRS range. I'm going to activate the battery as well. All these guys going in the pit on the 2-stopper, but I don't think that Perez is doing either. As we overshoot, we brake way too late into turn 3. And we are still 0.8 behind Perez. We are really battling to keep up with them. Every time we get close, we seem to just etch away a little bit. But our pace is definitely a lot better than Perez, so it's only a matter of time before we get the overtake done and be on our way to a 3rd win here in the Season 2 of cyBorg Racing. I guess this would technically be the 2022 season, but you know, 2022 has new cars. There's also going to be a new game probably come out in the summer, which obviously I will be posting that once it releases. Well, Perez again, 810. So I'm going to activate that ERS beforehand, because I think he uses his battery here, and then he gets just a second ahead, and we don't have any ERS to use. But here we are going to stay in range. We're going to have the slipstream as well. Is he going to pit? He's going to pit. Oh man, I don't know if this is gonna, I don't know if this will work out. So we're on the one-stop strategy. Perez is going in to pit, probably for fresh mediums, and we got 9 laps left in this race. I think we can make it to the end. I don't know why the AI went to pit. That's kind of stupid. Oh, let me see what my tire wear is at. We're only at, why are you pitting on a 12% wear on the mediums? I guess maybe because in real life, I believe that Baku is a 2-stopper. But honestly, now it just kind of looks like we're going to be cruising until the end of the race. Like, our tires are still relatively fresh. There is a little bit of wear. They're not 100% fresh. But it's not like they're at 20 or 30% or anything like that. We got 9 laps. We've been on these tires since lap 8. So we've almost been on these tires for 10 laps now. So as long as we keep our pace up, and these guys on fresher mediums don't go on a tear, we should be okay. So we're lap 23 right now, and we are in a bit of a scenario here. I have 0.01 laps of fuel left over, so I'm gonna have to start fuel conserving a little bit, as Perez over the last 10 laps or so has reduced the gap by about 5 seconds. I think we should be okay. I just gotta worry about not running out of gas and just making it to the finish line. 8 seconds. He's getting maybe a second per lap if he's lucky. I'm hoping we'll be okay by the end of the race. It seems to fluctuate every time I kind of coast into the corners. He's cut that gap down to 7.6 seconds now. Oh man, this is going to be close. I feel like by the time these next 2 laps happen, he'll probably be around, I say 5 seconds. This all really depends on how much I have to kind of fuel manage here. I did cut it close with the fuel. I put it to 26.4 laps. And I was pushing quite hard, catching up to Perez when he was in front of us. The Schwartzman is in P11 right now. Hopefully this guy can get into the points. I mean, it will only be 1 point, but you know, in a sport like this, every point matters. As we saw last season in real life, you know, Verstappen and Hamilton tying into the final race. Every point matters. So we are coming down to the last straight here, and we are in the negatives for gas. Perez is edging slightly closer at every turn. I have to lift off the gas. We're trying to coast here, but the more we coast, the more Perez is going to catch up to us. Oh man, this might go down right to the wire. If you guys have watched up to this point, make sure you drop a like, make sure you're subscribed. We have a tight race here. Perez is closing the gap. He is also on a lot fresher tires. We have been on these tires since lap 8. Perez has been on his tires since lap, I believe, 17 or 18. So his tires are about half the age of ours. And with the medium tires, after you hit a certain point, they start to degrade really quickly. We got 54% in the battery, 2.9 seconds left, or 2.9 seconds behind us. Oh man. Okay, we're at point 2. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. We're gonna get the win here in Azerbaijan, most likely. Imagine we ran out of gas right at the end. That would have been horrible. But we are coming down the main straight on the final lap of the race. And after... Oh my god, we're out of gas. We're out of gas. Oh my god, we're out of gas.
Fantastic drive. Just fantastic. You deserve that race win.
We literally ran out of gas right at the end. I felt the engine like stop putting in power. We get P1. That's our third victory of the season after the Monaco debacle. Again, I don't know what it is with Monaco. It's definitely not in next year's calendar if we get there, but there it is. P1, Perez P2, Hamilton P3. And with Hamilton in P3, that's going to be good for the Drivers' Championship. And Robert Schwartzman just misses the points by, I think, just under a second behind Lance Stroll. So he was right near him. However, he does finish P11, so that is an improvement. He also started P16 too. So good improvement for Schwartzman. The training and the money that we're putting into him is starting to pay off just a little bit. We're still hoping that he can get into the points consistently, as we need him for the Constructors' Championship. But going into the team R&D stuff, we got a durability department meeting. Schwartzman wants to invest more in our durability department. It will cost us some money, but if we decline it, he's going to lose focus. And on top of that, if we do agree to it, we get a 10% discount on an MG UK part. So I'm going to go ahead, accept this for the team. Will help us in the long run. We got to make sure our parts are durable until the end of the season. Looking at the standings as well, I'm in P1 for the driver standings. We drop down to P2, or we move up to P2 after Monaco in the constructors battle. Lewis Hamilton and Guanyu Zhou, they are second and third place. So it will be tough. We're going to need Schwartzman to pick it up, or hopefully by the time we reach free agency, we could sign Valtteri Bottas to a contract and help us in the fight. But we are looking decently well in the constructors fight, assuming that I can keep up the performance, put the team on my back for these next 12 races. Looking at our R&D as well, I've been slacking in the aerodynamics department. When we first started this series, I did put heavy emphasis on it, but with our 2,000 research points, I'm gonna go ahead and start investing in this. We are the fourth worst team in terms of aerodynamics, so we really need to get ahead in that department. These upgrades will put us ahead of Alpine and Aston Martin come the Austrian Grand Prix. We also got a tire blanket upgrade for the durability. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button. If you're a recurring viewer, make sure you hit the like button. If you're either one, make sure you're subscribed if you like the content. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys want to see any changes to the video format or anything like that. And I will see you guys for cyBorg Racing's home Grand Prix in Montreal next week. All right, peace out, guys.